Yo, niaje, hapa ni nworksinc Radio Podcast episode 28. Na niko na wageni hapa kama kawaida, watajiintroduce.
Naitwa John Keguro Karaoke. Nimegraduate na Bachelor of Science in Physics from Meru University of Science and Technology.
And you're back again. Wami, wengine bado. Na pia tuko na mgeni mwingine hapa.
Wasikilizaji wa nworks podcast vipi? Mimi naitwa The Fan of the Wonder Boy. Mimi ni creating kutoka Murang'a. I'm the chairperson of the Murang'a Cultural Creatives Association, but I'm here on my own behalf. Very curious about this topic.
We'll go straight into it. First of all, nataka to define quantum physics tena.
It is quantum. How it is quantum. And in relation yake kwa physics ni nini? Quantum, if we begin, it's a unit that deals mostly with light. Light is anything that comes to you when you close your eyes and open. That is light. When you switch off your bulb at light and then you switch it on, that is light. So light comes from the sun, light comes from other many sources. Yeah. So that is what the quantum bit of it we're going to talk.
Okay, nikamaanisha wave ni particles mingi zina na ni wave kama vile tunaonaga kwa ocean. Yes, the wave like that.
It's actually like that. It's only that it is internal. Inakuwa imefanywa hivyo juu ni ku extrapolate. Kuna y axis na kuna x axis. So when you measure it, you'll find that kwa hii time level liko juu, kwa hii time level liko chini. So that is why it become a wave.
We up and down.
Yes. Because hiyo particle inaweza go in two states. Inaweza live in two states. More than two states actually. Because everything else lives in two states, on or off, as in basically. But for a particle, it can live in both states or one state, as in it can live in three states, on, off, or both. Can you go in yourself?
That's true.
Yeah.
Now, in quantum, the energy we are looking at is that light at times can depict properties as a wave.
Yeah.
And at times, light can depict properties as a particle.
Yes.
Some of the phenomena where light can behave as a wave is example reflection.
Yes. Reflection. Kuna refraction. Refraction ni ile ya maji. Ile maji venye ukiangalia kwa maji. You remember that?
Unalika madhara.
Hiyo ni refraction. Reflection ni ile ya mirror. Ile ikiweka tu mirror hapa come back to you.
Still in water, kuna diffractions. And kuna several bending air to water to glass.
Yes.
The difference, the refractive index.
Ikigonga
From air to water.
igonge different elements.
Yeah.
So lazima ita
diffract.
So inaenda kwa air, ingie kwa maji, ingie kwa alafu guze glass bado uko chini ya matile.
Yeah.
So that kila kitu itakuwa
Different refractive index, N1, N2, and 3. Snell's law uses the M as our refractive index. Yeah. So, but in other forms, light can depict itself as a particle. An example, we in quantum mechanics release two effects. One of the effect is the photoelectric effect, and the other effect is the Compton effect.
you can explain further so that we when your mother thinks you have to be doing.
Okay. When in a photoelectric effect, it happens like this. When a photon of energy, hv, now h is the Planck constant and now is the velocity of that photon that comes. When it strikes on a surface of a metal surface like this, before it is reflected, there is an energy that is required to liberate this photon from the metal surface that it has struck.
Okay.
The energy required to liberate this photon is called the work function. And that energy is the one now that is known as the wave function of the metal, and the rest of the energy is given to the electron, so that it acquires a kinetic energy, which you are going to say it's a half mass of that photon times the velocity squared of that photon. So the effect of that bouncing, that reflection.
Kwa hivyo, let me try understand and put it in. That means hiyo proton ikikuja strike like a surface. If it strikes a surface, it loses energy, and it also gains energy.
It gains energy. Now the energy
gonga in a lose, na bado ina gain here.
So now for it to be reflected, it is going to need an energy of liberation. The liberated energy is the work function. The kinetic energy is the heat that the photon will go out, will bounce back, will bounce area.
Okay.
Very good example is the one that I was giving you. When something you are eating drops, and you pick it and you say, just not home. So kabla zirudi kumaanisha kuna ka energy zili ako ka kitu kaligonga hapo
Mana zikametea.
Now the Compton effect. The first one is the photoelectric. The second one is the Compton. Now the Compton effect, we have our photon here.
Yes.
Then our photon fights a barrier. Our barrier now in front of here will be an electron. Now this electron, once it is struck by our photon, they will scatter. And the electron will go one place, and the other one will go with the center. The axis we are talking about, like x-axis and the y-axis, that now will form an angle. Okay. An angle that we are going to call, that is going to help us to look at how the radiation, the radiated photon and the radiated electron, the speed that they are moving at.
Yes.
Now, the Compton effect is the wavelength that the photon, they will move away from here. They will scatter.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, zinagongana, alafu zina split. Sasa siku split ni scatter, mena scatter, yeah. Because splitting is something different. So wakati zimegongana kila moja itaenda direction yake.
Yeah.
Hiyo ni energy. At the end of the day ni zikigongana kuna energy zimegain na zimelose. Yeah. So zikigongana lazima zitoke na the same energy yenye zimegongana nayo.
Yeah. So
itasundana wave.
So now that energy, they scattered, one will lose some energy. Now the scattered photon, the one that struck the electron here, will move with a longer radiation. And if it was combined like this, now it will lose some energy, so it will lose.
It will go wider wave.
Yeah. For this electron now to have a longer wavelength incident from the original one. So now the wavelength that we have the sign of the wavelength in physics is lambda. No, the total.
Hawezi kosa kusema kitu.
Something out of it is too like
At the end of the day, physics is running the world. So,
cross barrow, you like, you gari nakuja na speed ya gari. Pita itanipata. Everything is physics.
Calculation ya physics. Kutoka asubuhi venye sun rays zilishika kila mahali
Kutoka huko kwa sola yenyewe.
Yes. Basically. Hata si commercial ni continuation too. Because it's a free podcast. We really want you here to learn as well. I want to learn. He also wants to learn, and we want to teach them. Sasa tushinde walimu.
Nini kuchua? Man batani para.
Tukana wenye huku.
Tunaongea vitu mzito. Sara za joke.
So kuna nikifanya research kama kawaida, mimi napenda fanya hiyo research. Kuna kitu nilisoma kwa Dirac wave equation. Okay, I read about it. I can actually even read what I read, which is deals with events such as the speeds at which an electron orbits the nucleus, occurring as a substantial fraction of speed of light.
Yeah. Even substantial fraction. Yeah. The Dirac wave equation was discovered by a person called Paul Dirac. Paul Dirac was trying to distinguish an equation of negatively charged electrons occupied in a vacuum, and the equation itself was an Eichen equation. An Eichen is a German word which means proper or characteristic root. So now the Dirac notation was trying to explain an example of the equation how it applies very much is the whole theory. One of the whole theory is the black hole. A black hole, a black hole is a space where gravity pulls so much that even light itself cannot pass.
So our first question, so is a black hole black? Okay, it's a weird question. Lakini ni
So even the physicists like Albert Einstein, all the way, we thought Albert Einstein didn't believe in black holes because he did not believe in the superposition of a region that is so massive to an extent so even a star like dies, it goes inside there.
Yeah.
In fact, a very good example was the sun.
Yeah.
If one day after several billions of years, the sun will die.
Yes.
The sun will go to a black hole. The black hole
Will become or will go.
will die and it will fall inside there.
It will be fall inside.
Yes.
So okay, let me just go back kidogo. So mimi najua kuna black hole, kuna something like an implosion and explosion. Like if two stars collide, and that's an explosion. And zitaenda zikwe other billions of stars ama particles zenye zitakuwa kwa sky infracts kidogo.
Yes.
Then kuna hii star ikikufa ina implode. Yani kama inajikula. Ina
collapse inside.
Alafu inaanza sasa kunuta everything into it. That's how a star dies.
Yeah. So ni kama place ingine bali kama
Exactly, yeah.
That's it's so it's called a place in space. It's a place in space where gravity pulls so much that even light cannot go through that.
I mean, imagine placing a light now.
Haiendi through
Ikienda through ina mezo.
Yeah, hakuna kama hiyo utaiona hapa. Sasa ni kumaanisha inaingia huko wherever that other place is and you don't.
Yes. And another question. Oh, yeah.
Kuna kitu ingine, has anyone ever like looked into it? Kuna spacecraft ikienda lakini inarudi ama mesha na yote inajulikana kama nini na
Hata swali yangu ni black hole hiyo kufa. Mimi niko na very I have very like
But for a black hole, its existence, it exists like a place that, unless we discover something that moves at a speed higher than that of light, that is when we will come to the question of black hole.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, because if it is eating light, that means hata wewe mwenyewe hauwezi ona.
Where's your?
Yani
Where's it exist? Apple around it.
but sasa going back to the question that was before, kuna hiyo black hole, hakuna mse anajua black hole ama ni black kama ile wapi na tini kitu ina exist. This something that
watu kuna black hole. How wanaona vitu zikinyonywa hapo.
Yes.
Because you're black hole.
But we give you in fact, a star, as a scientist, we are going to learn that a star is born, it lives, and one day it will die.
Yes.
So now, as a scientist and an astronomer, you are going to observe that when a star dies, a star is a combination of gases. So now those gases are what came to be talking about black hole, in the theoretical physics plus field of it. Because when those gases will collapse, one day they don't remain at the space. Yeah. They don't fall on Earth, they don't fall on Earth.
I get
So, like, the implosion that we are talking about, where that spark goes inside,
You don't let those gases.
because it's not like falling. And then, of course,
Negative.
of course, I fall. Because umesema story ya gravity. Gravity already inakuvuta hiyo yenyewe ndio kuna hiyo gravity.
Inajibrila kwanza alafu yana imenakuni pia.
So ilikuwa story ya black hole.
Yeah, I have a personal idea about black hole.
Yeah.
Na tumesema a black hole ni kitu iko na very dense gravity yenye inavuta kila kitu to an extent that a star tuseme imekufa ita explode these gases that zenye zinafomia star zitakuja zivutwe na kitu fulani. So like mtu anauliza, is this a real hole? Ndio wana tumeanza tukisema it's a place in space.
Yeah.
In space unaweza kuta kuna like galaxies in Duman. Yes. So measurement yote ishaifanyika ya black hole. Yeah. Kiseme the observatories that observe things in the space.
Yeah.
Wanaona kuna kitu ilimeza ile
Kama galaxy mzima hii.
ilimezwa. Yeah, like still ili explode. Lakini kutoka hapo ndani ama hapo katikati
Vitu zote zenye zilikuwa zilikuwa hapo around.
Yeah.
Ni kama zimedisappear. Kwa hivyo ndio maana ni hole. Okay. Like hizi stars ziko mingi. Ziko more big.
Hakuna kitu sasa.
Sasa hapo moja of course kuna explosion. So utaona excess light kutoka katikati. And then kidogo kihoni. Kila kitu hapo you around.
Yeah.
So does it end? Does like the black hole end?
And
At the bottom of a black hole, it cannot end because I was almost talking about and then at the center of where hiyo kitu inaenda kuna a singularity. Hiyo is a word used to describe a point that if infinity very small, infinitely very small, and infinitely very dense, very large. So like hiyo haina hapo kwa mwisho.
Haina mwisho kuwa ndogo ama mwisho kuwa kubwa.
Hapo hiyo star imekufa ikaingia, huwezi sema ati pataishia hapa hivi. Ati hiyo shimo itakuja isija. Iko na singularity point na entry yake yenye tumesema ni an event horizon. Event horizon ni penye hiyo star imefanyikiwa, hiyo kitu imefanyika au kibo ya hiyo star imefanyika. Ndio kuna event horizon which means as a service, though it's a simple point where the gravity gets too strong for anything to escape. Ni hiyo hole.
ni service na hapo hiyo kitu ina
so hapa ndani penye tunasema hiyo kitu iko na huko chini kwake
aina
hakuna mkonta mechanically hiyo ni sindio Angela yake ni infinitely very small and infinitely very dense. Huwezi sema
so ni singularity, ni singular si kubwa na si ndogo.
Ni shimo infinite.
Infinite.
That is very interesting. Jamani unashika vitu hapo.
Okay, so nimeelewa. Star ikidedi na implode lakini haupati majivu hapo. Upati ashes, upati makaa. Hiyo kitu hiyo inakaa kama ina vacuum cleaner fulani
na vitu ziko karibu.
Anything else ni hapo karibu ina affect on hiyo gravity ni create hapo inapuliwa hivi. But hiyo kitu si tina happeniki alafu inazima. The fact that so kitu ikipitia hapo ndio ita-affectiwa but it doesn't continue pulling everything else that is iko mbali.
Some of them grow.
Oh, that is a question.
Kuna zenye you grow.
Your black hole sasa. And it will lead you to a place in nowhere. Yeah. Even if it
ndio nasema inaenda expand. Actually imefind singularity.
Kuna hiyo point singularity. Uko ndani there. Na nikoje sasa unasema inaweza expand. Ina expand to nowhere during
na huko place ina observe hapo kwa event horizon. Does it extend in that event horizon ama inakaga tu mahali hiyo star maybe mahali hiyo star ndio imenini so hiyo space ndio hapo hivyo ndo kuna black hole
black hole like unauliza inaenda hivi outside now mechanically you haven't can even get closer to that, so it is very hard to go there's where it is leading, where it is expanding towards, so it has not been
kitu ienda
it is only like theoretically theoretical at the moment, lakini black hole is not for observed, lakini what the characteristics ama nini, most of them ni theoretical, yeah,
because if light itself cannot pass over, yeah, it will be swallowed in.
actually haya juzi kuna time nilisikia kuna spacecraft ilitumwa kwa sun iende ikipiga mafoto ikichukua data ikituma mpaka mahali itamelo tama hotel ama ingie tu kwa solar or whatever it is,
yes.
They will know the last image they got or the last data they got kabla whatever that's this craft. Has something like that ever been done with a black hole?
I think you want to wait you
mpaka mahali uone maybe hata
some of that question,
yeah,
because black holes, like right now what I understand, may happen like the other one.
yeah, need vitu ziko so phenomenal
Basi hii human being jafika kwa interstellar travel, kama sahi kuna hiyo Voyager 1 napenda hiyo kitu juu it's the best thing.
kale kanaendaga kuenda
Hiyo imeenda sasa for 46 years. So na bado inaenda. Hiyo ndio the longest serving
kitu
by no nasty haijatoka hata kwa gana.
Yeah,
haijatoka mimi kwe.
Itatoka aje bro?
Yeah.
Na ni light years why?
Okay, yes, the layer the waiting. Yeah, they can see it. Na bado ni community to coffee na class of galaxy.
Yes.
Kwa neighborhood.
That is so interesting by the way. So basically at least tumejua
black hole. Bado black hole unaweza imagine tuko kwa dunia. Tunasema huwezi jua ina expand ikienda hivi ama iko na another direction and then lead you to nowhere. So like what do you are there tukiwa pale kwa orbit yetu tukutane na
tutaingia, lakini hatujui tutaenda
inamezwa tu.
What are you going to?
Our Earth, we have very different gravities. We have them in the moon and the tidal gravity. Yes. So those gravity will now be pulled by a common gravity, but those gravity will continue to act. So they would be ripped apart.
Iko na zenye zake nina ignite iko na pia ni
gravity ya ina sasa. So like gravity zetu zitatupiga kwanza alafu
that is so interesting.
break up na kuinyoli.
Yeah, tutaripiwa vibaya sana tutakato.
Since hata tumeongea juu ya black hole, nimepata another question kuna kitu watu wanasemanga multiverse.
What is
because multiverse basically multiverse inamaanisha kuna many universes
yes.
And like if I look at what we're talking about the black hole
yes,
hapo ndio bado naona nikaa multiverse bado ina exist because unachikia hata hizi vitu zote zimeingia alafu zimetoka. Okay, mimi nasema I'm just talking out of my mind zimeingia na zimetokea na huko juu haziko na hakuna evidence za kwenye zimeenda. So for me I think that thing like a multiverse. Number 2 about multiverse. Okay, hiyo ni a question, uta explain more about the multiverse. Number 2 is nini ukiishi when you're living, like when everything that you do today, I tend to think we live in the past. As in kama kufanya hii kitu kama kuwalk before you walk unakogosha walk, you understand, neurons zishatuma ndio ina mkono hivi hii information ilitumwa kitambo, kwa hivyo ni the past. Ni unasikia
past ikikuja future
so na hata ukiangalia, so that means from actually the quantum perspective of things
yes.
That means hata humans tuna experience duality because even like that is why probably in my mind I'm just saying that is why maybe we have things like deja vu and things of the same. Na hata ukidecide kufanya kitu fulani hivi ati kuna multiverse, hizo vitu zime happen in so many ways. Ati sasa mimi ni average ama wewe ni at this specific time when average average of all the possibilities depending with what you decided to do. So basically I think we live in the multiverse but acha tuongee na quantum physicist tusikia atasema aje hiyo story.
So it's all theoretical.
First of all the theoretical.
Everything theoretical, we start with a hypothesis. Yes. So like scientists hypothesize that we will be living in a universe and there are other more than universes. And that is unobservable view that you can observe. So theoretically you can go and prove this hypothesis that there are other universes due to, like for example, something fell from another universe into our Earth, and that object that fell depicted certain characteristics, and so that is where you start getting curious. This characteristic, and when this where this and this can happen. Yes. Now on our Earth, this does not happen. So that is where your hypothesis now comes to be okay. We are not in a multiverse.
Aya kuna okay saying the feel kama niko kwa allow no I'm not thinking like okay
you have so many questions
like we are in a room okay back to us I am and you any vitu but nejulizaje okay sasa kuna vinyi nasikiaga ati I think ni vinyi tuongea historia ya universe. The universe in expanded at faster rate than you can get to the end of it. Alafu kuna venye unaonaga universe imeillustratiwa. I don't know, is it an illustration or a photo of the universe? How it idealiza alafu venye inaenda expand. Illustration.
And how you see the galaxies, how the visually illustrated in our universe. For example, our universe. That's like we are saying, you're seeing some this like stars, this is hapa kuna star, huko kuna galaxies, vitu vingi circles, ni illustration, but ni kitu observed. Yes. Before it is illustrated,
when I illustrate can you be observed?
First thing you tell, and then they give us diagrammatic representation of that.
Kuna picha, so the Voyager is taking photos.
Una picha, lakini I was reading something somewhere ati yao ndio mfakala akupatia hiyo picha venye iko hawezi understand, na ndio maana hata quantum physics ukipewa venye iko kama if you take a book later and go and start reading rather than listen to this podcast or just have a conversation here, it will take you too long to understand what this is. But when so that even everybody else everyone who is interested soon can kinda understands. Ukiona hii kitu inakaa si kweli, wewe sasa ndio itabidi wewe uende sasa uanze kusoma. Ukiona interest. Lakini ukiona hivyo already when you decide whether it's good or bad and and
you ask like before you do something, it's like you have already done.
Oh yes.
There is something in quantum physics we call time inversion. So time inverse is equals to what? Is equals to real time square root of the gravitation of the Earth times mass of the Earth over the speed of light, the c squared. A good example is how you told us like sense our human senses already sense like they are prepared to pick up they are. And they prepare to pick.
Neurons have already shot.
They have
their shot.
The time inversion it comes drastically without change in energy.
Without change in energy.
Yes, like it is your body that reasoned. Ukashika hii kalamu. ile
Kwa hivyo energy yenye imecreate in that in your mind
haikuchange.
hiyo signal ilipo to the same
The energy that you pick this pen with is not the same that you pick this phone with.
yes
So it's to
your mind already calculated
yeah.
na bado hiyo ni quantum
The quantum.
because iko kwa the smallest atom.
Yeah, iko kwa the smallest atom. Hiyo atom is like third.
Yani you're Tanda, hata sietu ulisa ni
That's the quantum rate that time in version. Nimetoka kidogo. Kuna tulicalculate time inverse.
time umefikiria na time hiyo na hiyo kitu utafanya
Ulikuwa ushamwe.
Nilikuwa naongea story ya time inverse.
Yeah, time inverse. So the inversion, time inversion is it's equal. The eigenvalue of time inverse is a drastic event that happens either going on a correct backward or for a straight direction, but there is no change in any of the previous happen. It has already started UV drastically.
So okay, mimi ya kwenda mbele mimi niko sawa. Yes, ya kurudi nyuma ndio niko a bit because like going okay, actually zote siko further double. So kuna going forward and going backwards. So for going forward, I feel like this is exactly what you're doing by living today and every day. So, however, I will come to time travel, but before that, going backward is where I feel like I don't understand completely because like how can you move back into time? Let's take it.
with 10,000
How do you move like back into time?
Because we are theoretically,
Theoretically,
they are going to say we can move back in time by slowing speed. By slowing speed first.
Okay.
But not the speed of a car. We are talking quantum mechanics.
Of light.
Speed of light.
Also, not just speed.
Now you know with me. When in the speed of light becomes slow and very
When will it change?
you actually
that you can travel back in time on straight before time.
Yeah.
You're going to change your space.
Uh-huh.
You're going to go into space. From the earth now, you cannot change the rate and same rate for 8 meters per second. But when you go outside the earth,
When you go into space.
yes. So a very good example is like a person who has traveled to another space. The speed that he was using and the speed that was traveling before he broke from the region to enter that space, it changes. And a very good example comes an astronaut. If he goes to live outside here, he will either come back to the world either younger or older.
Yeah, okay, that I am hard, but let me understand.
Yeah, because time travel matters.
Yes, ask your question.
so hapo kwa story ya ati akambaka akiwa older or younger
Yeah.
I mean, kwani time si time ni masekunde masekunde na maminute na so lakini kwa siku tunaweza ondoa kwa sababu siku inahesabia tu kwa earth vini hiyo venye rotation but masekunde ni the same ama is it the same so we can say akiwa upo juu ana space space meaning beyond earth ndio ibio inakuwaje nini inafanya azeke na sisi tukiwa hapa earth I mean tu ni the same time for instance kama ni 6 months
Yantienda huko 6 months huko. Yanti calculates hapa kama ni 30 days.
ni 30 days
Pia yeye amekuwa huko 30 days. Kwa nini yeye azea na then
ama inafanya ama zanya kai kijana
Now, what we are trying to talk about is like we have 2 clocks here. 2 clocks here. And this clock is specially for this likeness. So one clock shows you this one is literally forward and this one ancient, but the service is like now when we come to the quantum mechanics bit of it now, when you're traveling at almost the speed of light and you are under a very intense gravity, and there is something that we call subjective time. The subjective time is now what we can say in physics term with the relative nature of this. They are moving simultaneously. You are trying to move at a very speed of light, and at this side you are under a very intense gravity. So now the relativity simultaneity of this movement will cause a clock to tick slower than the other clock. So now the time loss, we are going to call that time subjective time.
So speed, at the end of the day, speed ndio ina affect time.
Speed ina affect time basi. Kunaanisha then anytime inaenda kulingana na zile
Gravity and the gravity hapa.
yes.
So factors zenye ziko hapa locally.
Factors zilizo hapa. So uko juu mtu anazeeka haraka ama ana age polepole.
Ana age pole juu gravity will iko low.
Hakuna gravity kwa sana ya ku limit. Yes, into whatever ni.
Na subjective time example ingine ni si sun ni star. Light ya sun kuna time inachukua kufika huku. I think 9 minutes. 8 minutes 9.
Pia
Moon ni satellite. Moon iko on Earth. Pia kuna time light ya moon. Tuseme one reflection ya light out and you satellite ina take kama 7 and 48. So ukiwa on the same Earth, ukiwa Kenya unakuta time zone ya Kenya haipelekani na time zone ya place kama India. Na unakuta time zone ya place kama India inafaribiana na time zone ya America. So like our universe kuna the subjective time yenye tunarani wangu na subjective due to the speed of light and the intense gravity that is on Earth.
So since tumeongea hiyo story, is time travel possible? Okay, nimeona movies mingi hapa, ni series zamani mimi. Kuna ingine inaitwa quantum leap hiyo, na kuna ingine inaitwa black hole. Hizo ni some of the things. Okay, nasema ndio in case mtu ataki kuwatch kitu about it.
And it was like quantum leap ni kama it's also quantum jump. Quantum jump in very simple terms is like you are preparing to pass an exam and you pass that exam. So that is a quantum jump. Also, it happened just there.
Your
preparation. So our quantum leap, quantum jump, a transition between quantum states. Our quantum states are the energy levels that an atom can exist. We start from the lowest energy level 1s, the second energy level, the third energy level. So our light here is depicting two aspects, either wave or a particle. So now let's look at it as a particle. A particle coming from the lower energy level, vast energy level, going to the second energy level, existing in the second energy level. So like quantum mechanically, this thing can go to the third, 3s, 3p, 3n, and that energy level. So that in the quantum leap for the quantum jump. Okay. A quantum part, meaning a quantum entity, moving from one energy level to another.
Okay. So hizo movies zenye nasemanga ati msana ingia kwa machine hapo hivyo anaenda na anaingia 1940 anapoambia don't touch anything, you will affect the whole timeline.
That's it. One thing you have on the bar.
What do you say?
You get to go on the ballot, man. When will that happen? But yes, it is.
Alafu pia kuna Rick and Morty, kuna hizo cartoons Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty on the hours design up, but
pia ni
that is my authorities also.
So pia hiyo mtu anaweza taka kuona hizo stories za hizo quantum leap na hizo just Rick and Morty is one other example that you can go and watch. So basically nataka kuja kwako sasa. Hiyo story ya timsani na 1940 ama naenda 2035. Do you think it's possible?
ama nyinyi mnasemaje quantum physics?
Yeah, a quantum system, we say a time moves in a straight direction. It can either move faster, it can either move slowly, or it can either be reversed. So in a quantum system, time reversal can occur.
Oh, reverse ama yeah, kuna mbali.
Yeah. Hata kwenda mbele.
Reverse
Or speed up ama slow down.
Oh, okay.
Ama reverse.
You can slow. Yeah. In a quantum system.
Okay, that's to do sasa theory. In a quantum physics system, time can slow down, go back, and go forward. Fast. Oh, can go fast. Tight.
Yeah, in a quantum system. That is why now we have the quantum entities existing in macroscopic states or microscopic states. So the ones that maybe exist in microscopic states, it's more of the postulates that things that maybe you cannot even inside. Yeah, those one. That is why even time is one of the things that maybe uangalia kivuli ndio utaona maybe na baada sofa.
Lakini ukikaa tu place moja hauwezi jua. Ukikaa kama in a blacked out room, you wouldn't know time is moving.
That is why even in movies like kwa
hivyo quantum system bado
kama record so that hiyo kitu sasa.
So that means hata quantum system bado inaweza happen. Yeah. Because at the end of kama hizo zenye nilikuwa naona ilikuwa actually ni particles zako, yani ni atomic level yako inaenda to the other state ama to the other place. So lazima ikuwe nuclear powered na ikuwe nuclear cooled. Si nuclear cooled, na ikuwe cooled. So at the end of the day lazima
you get into a device with some kind of a
that affect you wa atomic level. Sasa ina
change zako,
ina change state yako. Sasa venye ina affect time ina whole hapo ndio anyway zote ni theoretical.
However, hapo I guess nilikuwa hapa pia kujua hii historia knowledge yote ya ninile how it would impact our lives, our daily lives. Hii knowledge ya quantum so it's a need or that area of
quantum physics
ina affectigi tuna interact aje nayo na daily lives na kama kuna venye tunaweza leverage hiyo knowledge yenye wase wako nayo. Tumekuuliza kama vile tukua kwa multiverse, okay, unaweza enda another dimension. So dimension ni place ingine ama ni like another existence, another plane, ama ni along the timeline. Unajua kuna along the future, past ama leo.
So hiyo ni
kuna place ingine.
Hiyo ni time travel. Na ingine
the dimension
hii ni
travel or something.
Hiyo ni time travel ya mwisho imesema. The one you mentioned before ni multiverse. The existence of another universe at the same time.
So now it's about going to that other place.
So the
same time.
Yeah, same time.
Yes.
Yeah,
hiyo ni kitu theoretically umesema kwa quantum system ni possible because na kuna theory fulani ya kusema ati kuna njia ukitaka kwenda hivyo unaingia kwa hicho system you can be able to work it out and nuclear we imesema is there a way to do that with regards to dimension
inaitwa quantum time field then confirmation. Quantum time fluid ina exist in a way that photon inaweza enda mbele ama inaweza rudi nyuma. So on that usually inaitwa quantum time fluid. Like the last podcast nilikuwa naambia magnet ngari ukafanya keep magnet achieving north south forming kuna certain EMR radiations inaweza create ni quantum time fluid. Very fast. Quantum mechanical time slip ina change either forward ama ina exist. It exists. A photon, for example, a photon kwenda mbele anaweza kurudi nyuma. So ni in simple it a quantum time fluid.
Okay.
Yeah. Wakufulipiwa unasema unaweza indi uende mbele ufanye unaweza tumia magnet kufanya. Unajua ukifanya magnet hivi unabadilisha north south direction and like una flip very fast to an extent to create radiation at katikati. Yeah. Be a movement of a photon either forward or back until it when time times here.
Yeah.
Then kuna hiyo swali lingine yenye muuliza ati nini quantum nini tuna leverage nayo. We'll give you a very good example your phone inatumia quantum physics.
What about
Tunewe kwa transistor hizo
motherboard?
Sasa kama unajua kila kitu kwa simu yako, kwa hiyo motherboard yako yote ina work na speed of light, because if it was working any slower, my friends, aungekuwa na simu aungekuwa ukitumia ama so those ones and zeros, those bits then moving inside the motherboard of your phone ndio hapo ni quantum physics kwa hiyo transistor na inaenda kwa speedo. So quantum physics ni in relation to light.
No. So all the devices need to nazo or yes, every civilization theory gonna transistor. Okay.
Theory. Na sasa kuna actually when you mentioned kuna kitu inaitwa quantum computing.
Mr. story.
So basically kuna computer kawaida ni inatumia hizo transistors na nini, lakini kuna limitation because okay zinasongana na speed of light, lakini si quantum speed. See okay, the reason why it is zinasongana na speed of light, the limited na two state, what we say two state, kido na one. So for quantum computing it has three states, 0, 1 or both. So when it has both, it can do more calculations. We imagine kama kuna kitu ina on na off, na kuna yenye inaweza kuwa on na off.
That everything is simple.
So basically, like right now, kuna there's a quantum computer that was created, but it is just for experimental purposes. Lakini sahi all companies, all corporations, all governments, everyone decide to create their own. Even in technology for experimental purpose. So it cannot be used for mainstream information on a computer. So now the governments and all those are doing research. Na ndio maana kuna hizo ma colliders, hizo particle colliders. I think you have
heard about
yes. So basically, the reason why this government and these people are trying to create the quantum computer is because once you create the quantum computer, every code, every secrets, every like password, every cytography, everything that you ever thought was hard is not, because a quantum computer will be like 1,000,000 times faster than these other computers.
So
password each way. Kama password ya sahi tuseme users iko na characters kadhaa, inaweza chukua kama party ya ikilitibwa ikiwa kitu kama 16 characters. A normal computer, a very big computer normal sana yenye iko sahi inaweza chukua maybe 30 years. Hiyo inachukua sijui 3 minutes ama 2 minutes. Unaona hiyo difference?
Ikibias na opportunity zote zilizo
na unajua ina get both states 0 1 na 0 0 0. Yeah, so it is
awesome.
So now everybody is trying to go to quantum computing so that they crack all your codes. Now everything will be obsolete.
That's how people deserve. Well, now kuna mtu alikuwa tuko tuna have a conversation anasemaje, the reason why we were colonized is because not because our forefathers were scared of the invaders.
Yeah.
First of all, waliwa trick,
yes.
But wakati walianza hizi tumeanza kufight, they were overpowered by one factor, the gun. Kweli so si amesiku baba ndio ile sasa mzana askabija mkio wengi
na una mbata hivi nikuja matimaji ribeti ama plangia vizuri banguka,
so that's
really na song and
now news all about tunayo mpaka na stories za AI dada. So sisi I see we have guys who are very knowledgeable about info. Because hiyo time ni vinya, there was no sharing with information. But right now,
information.
ile information access uko nayo na internet ni ndembe na Korea na US. Ni nini tunaweza fanya amine ndo isibaki kuna time watakamna gani tena watu kwenda unajua tuambie aje ya mjue tuko na quantum computer ama nini aje tuko na AI fulani. What is there anything that is happening or can be done to leverage hizi juu kama umesema kila mtu anajaribu kukimbia akuelewe.
So quantum physics or the quantum mechanics ina applications wingi sana, na hizo applications in fact tuseme nchi kama Kenya tumeshakimbia karibu hizi capital shaker. An example, a very good example ni NESA inamaanisha ideal identification by stimulated emission radiations. So like yes, kwa government sahi kwa intelligence wanatumia vitu kama hizo
to be text.
A very good example of wesa inatumika sahi ni kwa department kama vile ina detect pollutant. So inatumia principle moja yenye ningetaka kuelezea venye hiyo principle inafanya. So like kuna optical fibers za glass ama plastics zenye ziko kwa hiyo system ya laser. Ina protectiwa externally kutoka kwa atmosphere na kitu inaitwa polyurethane jacket.
Yes, so that nothing affects it.
So ile rays unaweka ray at a certain angle, array inaingia ikiwa kwa x-axis ile tumesema propagation level. So like inakuja inapoenda huko juu au huko juu na wanga chini na wanga chini and send the wavelength. So kwa hii service yake instead ya kugonga chini juu ya reflection inarudi juu after perpendicular the inafanya a fraction in a bend light. Instead ya kubend this side ina bend this the other way at a certain angle. Here to be kwa tumesema iko na certain refractive index tofauti. So hapa ndipo unaweka ile sensor yako ina collide na vitu vingine. Ndio tumesema kuna colliders. So hapa ndipo colliders, refractive colliders in yes bona helium na neon up and down. So the first collision inafuatianga helium. The second collision inakupeanga neon plus ile helium. So the colliders zenyewe hiyo helium na neon zinaweza chukua absorption ya kila kitu iko kwa hiyo atmosphere ina ile zile pollutants.
Nini kwa
Na kila pollutant ina rank ile yake ile tofauti.
That's so interesting.
So like sai project zote, hata mimi project nilifanya project ya indoor ya quality management. Kaya ka light kananulika huko mbele. Ako ka light ndiko kanaendaga kakichukuliwa na pollutant zenye ziko na wavelength tofauti huku jini. Na hizo so like absorption yenye inafanyika kwa ako ka light kana absorb pollutant na ziko na different levels.
So in short it up bounce.
So it bounce back in kuletea results kwa computer.
Okay. So we got it thinking.
Hatujapotea sana ji. Pia kuna hadi wizi ya kele imefika level mwingine iko juu. Tunasikia bag inatobolewa na huko chini.
Tunaingia. Kwa hivyo
una laser welding.
So what I would I want to understand ni ati already watu wako wanachukua hiyo information yenye inafaa. Ni wenye tu hatuwaoni na hatuwajui ama pia ni government funded or something, because now is classified information. So probably all these things are already working. So basically na nafikiria tutafika hapo because I really want to add other people into this conversation.
Hii conversation
Ni refu na ni very interesting. and I think we will have like a season for this. When episode to pale kama hii episode kumi ndio jaribu kwa
Jahitaji town hall.
kila mbele microphone but you microphone na kuna na uzuri hapa. The good thing about here is there's no stupid test. Sijui kama umeona hivyo. Hata mimi mwenyewe kama sielewi kitu, hata wewe mwenyewe kama uelewi kitu unapata information tu hapa as we
Kweli juu si kila kitu inaweza kuwa kimeshipa.
yes. So naweza sema thank you so much you guys. I hope umelearn kitu. Mimi nimelearn chef. Mimi hata sasa nataka kwenda research tena sasa.
Nini?
Zile vitu nilikuwa najua sikuwa najua. Na sikuwa najua sijui.
That's why I think because this information is out there now. So because you 40. Lakini kitu imenifurahisha kutoka na hii podcast. Of course nimepata a bit more understanding about our users. And then nimepata hope.
Yes.
Kwamba itujala kama as a patient.
Yes.
Bado kuna intelligent sana wakati na wana keep up na so like the way guys from Kenya wanaenda kwa marathon wana compete against the world. I'm like, even in this particular front tuko na Wakenya and tuko na watu wako hivyo kwa Afrika wako vile, because I'm looking at him explaining, I'm like, what is this?
That's so yeah.
So for doing this.
Thank you. We'll have another session soon, sooner than sooner.
Hey, this one.
Those are speak with the mechanically integral one
and knowledge up. So thank you sana. Kama kawaida lazima tujibig up. Sisi ni nworksinc radio podcast. Tuko na radio hapo kwa mtandao. Ukitaka kusikiza unaandika tu, unaenda kwa browser unaandika bit.ly/nwks radio. The R is capital. Thank you.
Boom.
Yeah.